High Vibe Nation is live. Welcome to the High Vibe Nation, where we have set out to raise the vibration of every human being on the planet. Your hosts on this journey are Gideons and Pamela Aubrey. So let's join them now in their current interview with a high-vibing individual.
Welcome to the High Vibe Nation, a revolution of love. I'm ready to rise and shine and live your best life now.
Welcome everyone to the show. We have a very special guest with us tonight, Sam Bakhtiar. He went from refugee to 1%er, and he shows people how to apply hard work and gratitude to achieve that phenomenal life. He was once a champion bodybuilder in every weight class, but now most importantly, he is a champion of faith, family fitness, finance, and fun. And tonight, he's going to help us find that 1% version of ourselves. So welcome to the show, Sam.
Thank you so much, Pamela, for that awesome introduction. Terry, thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor and pleasure.
You're welcome.
Such a pleasure to have you.
Yep.
So you know that we love to talk about being high vibe on this show. So tell us what it means to you to be high vibe.
Really, high vibe means just vibrating at a higher frequency. You know, looking at everything at a 30,000 foot view, 60,000 foot view, and just doing things, not out of a whim, but out of faith and out of love and out of long-term thinking.
I love it. I love it. That's wonderful. I love that attitude. So start us out with what kind of obstacles you've gone through in your life and how you grew up.
Wow, Sherry, I don't think we have enough time on your show. But I'll name, I can name a few, And when you talk about obstacles, I want to always tell all your listeners and all your viewers that to me, whenever I used to think of it as obstacles before. Mm-hmm. When things happen to you, a lot of times you think that, oh my God, this is the end for me. I don't know how I'm going to come through at it. But in my experience in 47 years of being, having the privilege of living on this planet we call Earth, every single obstacle became my biggest blessing. Mm. So now whenever there's an obstacle, whenever there's a setback, I know that every setback, every obstacle that I've ever overcome, it was the best thing that happened to me. Mm-hmm. And I wholeheartedly, in all of my heart, believe that obstacles are just God's way of testing us to see if you are worthy of His blessing. Mm. So let me go back now. Let me answer your question. So I had obstacles all along my life. I have obstacles today. I mean, I don't think you've ever been on this planet without an obstacle. Right. I remember as when I was in first grade, there was an obstacle. There was a problem. There was something I had to overcome. But some of the biggest obstacles that I've had is one, I was born in a war-ridden third world country, Iran. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And at 3 years, when I was 3 years old, two things happened. One, my parents got divorced and I never saw my dad again after that. And two, we went to war with Saddam Hussein in Iraq. So for literally for 8 years, every single night we got bombed on. So that was the first initial, I would say, obstacles and setbacks that I incurred in my life. But let's look at it for a second. We said obstacles are blessing, right? Mm-hmm. So if I weren't born in Iran and if you didn't go to war and if they get bombed on every single night, we would have never moved to the United States. We would have just stayed there. I would have never had the opportunities. I would have never met you guys. I would have never have become who I've become. And if my dad didn't leave me and leave us and I never see him again, I swore to myself that I want to become the best dad I could possibly be. Mm-hmm. I want to be around for my children. I mean, my son had an earache today, and I literally canceled everything and went to the doctors. Right. Because even though it's just a little earache, I want to be there every second of the way. Have I had a perfect dad, I would have probably not taken that as seriously as I do right now. And I never, I never overcompensated the way I do now.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just two obstacles. If you want me to go on, I can go on, share. I can tell you obstacles after obstacles after. But it's life. In life, you're either in a problem, left the problem, or headed towards one. So get used to it. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
Yes.
That is so powerful. And I really kind of want to dig into that a little bit, because I think sometimes, it's like we have that choice between, are we going to allow our circumstances to become a platform, or are they going to become an excuse? So tell us a little bit about how, instead of making excuses, you transformed those experiences into a platform.
Well, in life, when life knocks you down, and it's going to knock you down. Nobody has gone through life undefeated.
Right.
So when life knocks you down, Pam, you only have like two choices. If you look at it from a high vibration standpoint that we want to talk about, if you're talking about from, looking up here, life's going to knock you down. You have two choices. You have the choice to keep, stay down and say, you know what, because of this person, because of this circumstance, because of X, Y, and Z, I'm not where I want to be, and I'm going to blame the world, and I'm going to be that. I'm going to just the rest of my life, play the blame game and make up excuses why I'm not where I want to be. Or pick yourself back up and get going or do something. Now, a lot of times you pick yourself back up and you go through years of frustration, years of setbacks. Nothing seems to be working, and then you have a breakthrough. And that's what happened to me in 2008 when I started my business in the year of February 15th of 2000, fresh out of college and chiropractic school and grad school. I started doing good. What I mean good for me at the time, I come from a little town called Sharon, Pennsylvania, and if you do $25,000 a year, you're doing great there.
Right.
So I came here, I started my business. I was doing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month for myself in the year 2000 through 2008. And I thought I was the man, because from where I come from, nobody does that. I was making what most people were making in a year, in a month. So I thought things were always going to be good. I thought, everything was good. I didn't have a good relationship with money, because nobody ever taught me about the ups and downs of the economy, about the right way to invest money and the right way to save money and all that kind of stuff. So when 2008 comes, I was devastated. I almost lost everything. I was over leveraged. I was spending money foolishly before that, and next thing you know, we were expecting my first child, and I was negative $314. I was overdrawn on my bank account. I was getting foreclosure notices on the house. And now, remember, my why is providing for my family, being a super father, right? And then, my why just got swept under the rug, and I was so mad at myself. I had so much regret. I should have bought that car. I should have spent the money. I should have did this. I should have did that. I should have did that. And next thing you know, I went through a little depression. And here's what I'll tell you and all your listeners. Here's what I learned in life. If you live in the past, that's where depression lives. You can't change the past. All you can do is learn from your mistake, pick yourself back up and move. To make a mistake is human. To keep making the same mistake over and over again is stupid. Okay? Now, I became depressed because I live in the past and had all those regrets.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was always wondering what's going to happen. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to me? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to lose the house? Am I going to? Is my kid going to have food on the table? Am I going to afford formula? And next thing you know, then I was living in the future, and that's where anxiety lives. So I learned one thing. I said, you know what? I can't change the past. I can't predict the future. All I can do is win today. So what I'm going to do today, and to this day, this is something I do. The night before I even start my day, I turn out my schedule. See, you're here.
I love it.
See, you're here, 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? So I only can concentrate on one thing at a time, one day at a time. And I know if I can concentrate on just winning the day, over time, that's going to compound to me winning the month, winning the year, and hopefully winning in life.
So let's take you back for a second to where I think that mindset really got started from you. I remember talking to you a little bit, and you mentioned that you had grown up in Pennsylvania and you came up from a family who had this limiting type of thinking. And then you decided to walk into the bodybuilding industry, and that you wanted to win and you wanted to be very successful. Did that mindset start for you there? Because I mean, you became very successful.
I owe it so much of it to bodybuilding. I owe it so much to bodybuilding. And let me tell you, I went to bodybuilding because there was another devastation in my life. You know, we call devastation, I call it blessing. You know, so when I came to the United States, I didn't speak the language. You know, I didn't know what to do. I came to a homogeneous town, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. I walked in school. There was black people, there was white people, and there was only me. You know, they were looking at me like, you're not black, you're not white. You know, I got discriminated against, called names, beat up, bullied, you call it. But I wanted to belong. I was 11 years old. I wanted to belong to somebody. I didn't belong to white people, black people. But all of my life, I grew up playing football, soccer. So when I went to, you know, Sharon, Pennsylvania in 1985, and I asked them, I want to enroll in 7th grade. I want to learn English. I want to play football. They're like, football? And I no, that's called soccer. This is football. And I'm like, oh my God, this country, we're there by the minute. You know, like,
right.
How is this football? This is the ball, right?
Right.
So I didn't know anything about football then. I didn't know anything about baseball. I seen basketball before. I never played basketball before. So I decided to try out for the basketball team. And so I tried out for the basketball team. There's 23 people that tried out for the basketball team. 22 made it. 1 didn't. And that was me.
Wow.
So I never forget. It was like yesterday. It was cold. It's a cold winter that I tried out for the basketball team. I went to the gym, you know, to do a scrimmage. The coach said, after the scrimmage, I want everybody to sit down, and I'm going to call your name. If I call your name, you made the team. He called everyone's name except me.
Oh,
Every single person got called except me. I went home crying, you know, my eyes out. I went and told my mom, I told my mom, I don't want to be here. I don't like this country. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. Everybody is making fun of me. Now cut from the basketball team. I'm the laughing joke of the whole school. You know, now I want to go back. My mom said, look, we don't have that choice. We came here as refugees. We escaped the country. So here's what we can do. And she sat me down and said, Sam, you can be whatever you want, do whatever you want, as long as you're willing to put in the work. As long as you're willing to put in the work, you can do whatever you want. So here's the game plan, Sam. You get off at school at 2:15. You walk to the boys club. You work out till 5 o'clock. You play basketball. I come pick you up after work. We'll go do some homework. We'll eat, and we'll rinse and repeat. So next year you get better and play. So at that point, my mom taught me that I can do whatever I want to do. And if I want to do something, it has to be a daily habit, daily ritual. So my daily ritual was after that, go and practice and get better. So I started going to this, it was called the Buell Club. It's like a boys club. I would go there to play basketball for a couple of months. And one day I walked in to play basketball. And I saw these guys walking from this little room upstairs. They were walking down. And I looked at these guys, they all looked like big and buff and they had muscles bulging out. And at that time, I was watching Sylvester Stallone Rocky movies. I was watching The Commander. I was watching the Terminator. And I was like, man, they look like Arnold and Sylvester Stallone. I want to look like them. What are they doing? So I went there. I was a scrawny kid. I had the worst genetics in the world. You know, I had skinny shoulders, skinny chest, skinny arms, but a fat belly. So by all standards, I wasn't skinny, I wasn't fat, I was both.
Right.
So I walked in upstairs, and there was a bunch of big old steel workers, that are just strong guys, just in their overalls and work boots. They're just like lifting like insane weights, cursing, slapping each other. They're like tobacco and spitting tobacco and listening to like loud, obscene music. And I'm like 14 years old. I'm like, oh my God, like these guys are like, they're gonna eat me. And so I went in there and I started working out. And the guys who I thought they were gonna eat me, they looked at me and they were all so nice. They took me under the wing. They showed me, okay, here's what you got to do for the chest, and here's what you do for your shoulders, and here's by the way, here's what you're supposed to eat. And these guys literally give me, took me in as their own. This little, skinny, scrawny guy, they took me in. Now finally, found something I belong to in this country.
I love that.
And so I started lifting weights. And at first, Sherry, you know this better than anybody else. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even bench press the bar. I was all over the place and all that kind of stuff. And there's so many times that there was nobody in the gym, and I would literally, the bar would get stuck right here on my chest. I had nobody to help me out. I had black and blue marks all over me, you know. But after just coming in every day, I have no choice. I had nowhere else to go. I had nowhere else to go. You know, after school, I just go work out. So I would say about 2 or 3 months, I remember I looked in the mirror. I'm like, oh my God, I have a little line. Oh my God, muscle. I remember it was like game changer for me. You know, I remember going home, and I went to my room, and I just kept flexing. I kept flexing. I was carrying 135 pounds, little kid. I'm going like this. And my mom walked into my room. She goes, Sam, what are you doing? I go, Mom, look at my muscles. My mom was like, what muscles? I'm like, Mom, if you stand right there, let me go under this light right here. Let me flex this way. Did you see this? Mom, you don't have any muscles. But I was hooked. I was hooked, and I knew that's what I want to do the rest of my life. So at that time, I bought every magazine. You know, I remember my mentor now, Bill Phillips, had Muscle Media 2000. You know, I was listening to muscular development, Muscle Mac International. I was for every little money I had, every little allowance I had, I bought like either a magazine, or I went to first Tuesday of every month for GNC that had the discount. I would buy the latest, protein powder, or latest acid tail, or whatever latest whiz bang that will give me muscles. You know what I mean? And I would just go, and I would remember lifting weights, popping a pill, from GNC, lifting the weight, and it seems if anything happened. Literally, I would think that something would transform overnight. And that's when I knew that I want to get into the transformation game. I want to transform my body, But what I love about lifting weights, because it's so parallel, life, isn't it?
It is.
In life, you overcome obstacles. At first I couldn't do the bar, but then overcame the bar. Next thing you know, I had to put 10 pounds on each side. I couldn't do that, but then I overcame it, and I overcame it. And in life, you overcome little obstacles, and the obstacles get bigger and bigger and bigger. And no matter how strong I got, there was always a bigger weight that I couldn't do. And in life, no matter what you overcome, no matter how bad it is for you in life, there's somebody out there with an obstacle bigger than yours. Somebody out there that is willing to, that will do whatever they need to do to be in your shoes.
Yeah.
So don't ever feel like, this is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. There is somebody out there with worse problems than you do. I guarantee you that. And weightlifting taught me discipline. But what I love most about this transformation and transforming my body, it was the fact that it showed me that I can transform not only my body, but the way I think, the way I thought about myself, the way I overcame obstacles, the way I can do other things in life. So after that, I'm like, I don't want to just transform my body. I want to transform my mind. I want to be a better person financially. I want to be a better person educationally, relationally, socially, spiritually. And now, I'm all about it. This is what I do.
I love it. I love it.
I was just going to say, and you've got quite a collection behind you.
I love change. I love transformation. To me, my happiness comes from being better than I was yesterday.
Right. I love that.
Well, and, I just was thinking, this is such an inspiration, I think, to, kids, teenagers, to be able to see someone like yourself who has come from a very difficult background, who has overcome so many odds to get to a place in life where you've achieved the things that you really wanted to, but that there's a process to that, we kind of live in this culture where everything's instantaneous and it just happens and it's easy and it's great. And that's not really exactly how that works.
100% agree. I always say like this, that, Warren Buffett said compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Compound interest, like you put $1 in, $1 each day or whatever. It doesn't seem like it's much, but it compounds over time to a lot of money and a lot of things. Well, I call it the compound habit. If you do the right things correctly over time, it compounds to huge results. Also, if you do the wrong things incorrectly over time, it becomes a disaster. Look, I can talk to you guys about health and fitness and all that kind of stuff because you guys are into it. So if I went to McDonald's today and I order 2 large, Big Macs, a large supersized fries and a drink, and an apple pie, and I ate it all today. Also, if I get up tomorrow, my health is still good. My body's still good. All of a sudden, one meal is not going to make any effect. But if I do this over a period of time, I'm going to have diabetes, I have high blood pressure, I have cholesterol, I'm going to be severely overweight. Okay? Now, if I go to the gym and I work out for 4 hours today, I'm not going to get up in the best shape of my life tomorrow. But if I go to the gym 1 hour a day for a year, I will be.
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to put in the time. They want instant gratification. And to me, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.
And part of that is a struggle because people get trapped in their challenges and they're afraid to step out of their comfort zone. How would you suggest they step out of that comfort zone? Because, you and I both know that only keeps us trapped.
Well, I mean, look, comfort zone is the biggest dream killer that we have. Unfortunately, we are programmed to live in our comfort zone. If I had a choice between sitting on the couch, watching TV, and eating some bonbons, than going and getting under a bunch of weight and squatting right now, guess what I would want to do? My natural instinct is that I want to stay home, stay on the couch, watch TV, and eat bonbons.
Right.
But I'm not going to get the results that I want. So I've learned to what I call learn to be comfortable when I'm uncomfortable. And it's so, I've developed this thing right now, and I drive my wife crazy. I tell you that right now. That is very hard for me to be in a comfortable state, when I'm comfortable. I can't, for me, I have to train my mind to sit down and watch a movie with my wife. I have to schedule it and say, okay, well, I'm only going to watch this movie with her if I crush the rest of my day. But if I didn't, then I didn't earn it. And that's something that is developed over time. Not everybody's going to get there, and it's not the right thing for everyone. But understand that nothing gets achieved in the comfort zone. And life, if you just got up and you were comfortable the rest of your life, that life would suck.
Yeah, it would.
That life would suck. I mean, there's no obstacle, there's no thing. I used to think that stress was bad.
Right.
Everybody thinks that stress is bad. But if you really study human physiology, you understand that stress is vital to life. Vital. Without stress, you would die. Your body needs stress. Now, why does someone have a lot of stress and can cope with it, and there's others that we know of that have one little thing and they break down? It's the way they look at it, and the way they perceive it, and the lens that they see those stresses through. But you have to understand, without stress, you will not be alive.
Right.
So how is it that you keep yourself out of your comfort zone? What are some of your tricks to keeping yourself disciplined and on track?
I'm going to give you an example. You have to learn to get out of your own way. But the biggest obstacle you have is not anything or anyone else, it's you. I'll give you an example. All my life, I have to get up early to get to the gym. And I used to live in the East Coast where it was snowing, raining, there was hail, it was, minus 20 degrees outside. And I had to get up to go to the gym. I was getting, Sherry knows this, we were bodybuilders, and, we have to get up and do your fasted cardio. And, I had to work, I had to go to school, I had things that I had to study. So I had to be very regimented with my time. I couldn't be, oh, it's too cold. I don't feel like going today. No, it doesn't work that way. So getting up in the mornings, I'm not a, broccoli eating cyborg. I'm a human. I like bread. I like pizza. I like sitting in my bed. You know what I mean? And I remember getting up in the morning so many times and kind of hitting the snooze button. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. A couple times, I turned off the clock and didn't get up. Normal stuff that people do. I'm just like anyone else. But I'm like, oh, how can I not hit the snooze button? How can I make sure that I get up and just get up? So I had to, I'm like, all right, so here's what I got to do. I'm going to put my phone on my alarm 15 feet away from me. So I got to get up out of my warm bed to turn the damn thing off. Okay? Right next to my phone and my alarm, I'm going to have my pre-workout set up, already ready to go. So I'll turn it off, drink my pre-workout. Now I'm at a point of no return. I can't go to sleep if I wanted to. Right? So those are some things. I used to want to save money. I want to save money. Oh, Sam, you have to save $100 a month, $500, whatever that amount was at the time I was trying to save money. And I was never able to save money. I saved money for 1 or 2 months. Then an emergency happened. I need to use that money, or something happened. I have to use the money. Next thing you know, I have no savings. So what did I do? I'm like, okay, Sam, you get in your own way. You don't get in your way. How about you start a new bank account? Don't know the username and password. Set it up. Have somebody set it up for you. Don't have to use a password. It automatically takes out of your bank account every single month this amount of time. You can't stop it if you wanted to. And now, because of that, I still practice the same thing every year. And now that saving plan is still growing and growing and growing and growing.
Nice.
I can't stop it if I wanted to. So you got to put parameters in place, safety nets in place.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest enemy to your progress is yourself.
I love that. So I was reading all about your 5 F's, and I absolutely love those. Tell us about how they play a role in your life and how you implement them.
Yes. So here's the thing that you don't know about is the ultimate F. And I'm going to talk to you about that first. In life, one of my favorite quotes is by Tony Robbins. And he says, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. And I couldn't understand that quote when I was broke, when I was trying to take a breath and I was trying to breathe. I was just drowning in debt. I couldn't understand that because all I wanted was money and success. But when I got there, I'm like, okay, money and success is good. But now how can I make a difference? How can I now, put a dent in this world? How can I make my heart happy? So that's when I came out with the 5 F's that lead to the biggest F, which is fulfillment. I said, well, first of all, you have to have faith. Because without faith, how are you going to take action? And this is not about being a Christian, Muslim, Jew, or any religion. Faith is the fact that you know for without a shadow of a doubt that you're here for a bigger reason than yourself. God didn't put you to get up, eat, sleep, and go back to sleep and die. God has put you on here for a different thing. I don't care what you believe in, you have to have a bigger reason for living than yourself. Then after that, it's your family. Being around your family, being able to be a contributor to your family, being able to raise your next generation to become a functional member of society, be a contributor member of society, and become a better version of you. You want to teach your son, your daughters, to not to make the same mistake as you did. How to evolve and how to become a better person than you were. When I was in the room, I asked hundreds of people. I said, how many of you want your son and daughter to be exactly like you? Mm-hmm. To do what you do? Nobody's hand went up. Because they know that they can do better. Mm-hmm. They know that knowing what they know now, they can teach the next generation to become better. And that's our obligation and that's our duty. So faith, family, then after that is fitness. Fitness is so important. To me, if you don't look good, you don't feel good. If you don't feel good about yourself, then you're not going to have the relationships and treat people the way you want to treat them. You first got to learn to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And if you don't love yourself, you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to take care of anyone else, and you're not going to have the ability to love anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it all starts with you taking care of yourself. And a lot of people think that, okay, fitness and loving yourself is selfish. And that to me is the most unselfish thing you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when you get on the plane and they come in and they said, hey, in case of a cabin pressure drop, put the mask on yourself before someone else. They're not trying to tell you, hey, nobody matters. They said, because before you can help someone else, you got to be able to breathe first.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I say fitness is so important, because you got to take care of yourself. You got to be healthy. You're no good if you're in a hospital bed for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Then it's finances. And a lot of times when I was poor, guys, when I was so poor, for me, finances was material things. For me, finances was the luxury car or the sports car or the mansion or the clothes or the watch, and things like that. And when I got there, for me, I realized that for me, finances now has a whole different meaning. For me, finances right now, money, I only want money because I want freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I want freedom to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, how I want. For me, I don't want to do anything I don't want to. There was times in my life, that I was broke. I needed the money. I needed to be able to pay the bills. I needed to feed my children. And, I had a client come in that I knew that, oh my God, potential client coming in that I'm like, oh my God, he or she's going to be such a headache. Oh my God, she's going to suck the life out of me. I don't want to keep this client on, but I had to do it because I had to pay the bills. I never want to put myself and my family in that situation ever again. I don't ever want to do that again. So I told myself, and that, when I become successful, it's all I want about peace of mind. I don't care about none of the material things. I can live in a 400 square foot apartment with some books and an internet connection. I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need some dumbbells. For that.
But of course.
I mean, so after, finances, what is life if you're not smelling the roses and having fun along the way?
What? Yeah.
I mean, you gotta have fun. You gotta smell the roses. And there's so many people that, they grind. They have millions of dollars, and they really can't have any fun because they don't shut down. They don't stop grinding. And I've learned to put a time and place for everything.
Right.
And when I grind, I grind. When I shut it off, I shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more important than me having fun, spending time with my family, and be able to just enjoy life.
I love that.
Amen to that. Well, it sounds like you're the kind of person who is constantly learning. And, I just think that that's so important when you're talking about growth and advancing in your spirit, your mind, your body, all those things. And so how do you kind of fit that in? Like, what's your routine for learning, so to speak?
For me, learning is part of my job.
Mm.
It's not extra. I told my wife the other day, I go, look, learning is part of my job. Studying is part of my job. For me, evolving is part of my job. Nothing is promised to you tomorrow. Right now, all the gyms are shut down. All of my gyms are shut down because of COVID-19, But guess what's not shut down? My school, learning, and I'll got to evolve. Because if someday the game changes and, all the gyms get shut down for good, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. Again, I can't predict the future. But I have to be able to learn and pivot and be able to go around and know that I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. So Sam, how is it? You started out with a single gym, and now you've gone up to, I think I heard 120 gyms. how is it you've been able to create success in the fitness industry when trainers and competitors can't seem to do that kind of thing?
I would say, I always evolve. I always evolve. I always look for the trends in the industry.
Uh-huh.
And I see what's working, what's not working. Because what worked in the 80s won't work in the 90s. What worked in the 90s won't work in the 2000s. What works today is not going to work tomorrow. And not only I was a trainer or a bodybuilder, but I studied business. I studied marketing. I studied sales. I studied systems. I studied scaling. I started going around other successful gym owners, and not only other successful gym owners, just other successful people in any industry to see how they did it, how they done it. I knew, in the beginning, it was all about me owning a gym and making a decent income and be able to do my bodybuilding. I was happy with that. And that was from 2000 and 2005 when I retired from bodybuilding. I was happy with that. I was happy with owning one gym, making 10, 15, 20,000 a month and being able to bodybuild, do what I love to do. And that was the end for me. I thought it was good. But when I decided, wait a second, man, I'm getting older. I'm in my 30s now. Maybe I want to start getting married and have a family and all that kind of stuff. I didn't want to be in the gym stuck all day. I didn't want my kids to be, be raised and not seeing daddy, and I have to put in 80 hours. I have to figure out, systems. I need to figure out scaling. So, I invested in myself. I got mentors. I got coaches. I joined masterminds. And every single year, even back then, I remember the first time I wrote a check to one of my mentors, it was $2,500. And to me, $2,500 was a grip at that time. And I wasn't used to writing a coach a check for $2,500. The biggest check I wrote to a coach was my bodybuilding coach for $500. And that was a lot to me.
Right.
And so this check was $2,500. I'm like, oh my God, I hope I didn't make a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. I hope this works. I don't know. And that check was the best check I ever wrote.
Nice.
It just opened my eyes to a whole new world and a whole new, field. And that's, how I'm here. A lot of people are walking around with, designer bags. They're walking around with, we're driving around an expensive car. They have, expensive lotions and perfumes and things like that. But they're not willing to invest in themselves, in their business. And I just don't get that. And when I was in the field, Sherry and Pam, I used to make, I will go at people, when there was somebody would walk in, I would have like a female walk in, with a designer bag, a Gucci bag or a Louis bag. And, they were overweight and they need to get in shape. And I present them personal training price or price to our gym. And like, oh, I don't know, that's going to be expensive. I would just go right out. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, what do you mean it's expensive? I'm like, you see your bag? Well, how much is that bag? $3,000. So you spent $3,000 back, but you once spent, a couple $100 on your health, your fitness, on your well-being, for you to be able to be here with your children, for you to feel better for your husband, for you to be able to feel better about yourself. You're not going to be able to do that. So you spent $3,000 because that bag's going to make you feel better than you if you're healthy. You're kidding me, right? Or something. I saw a guy one time. I'll never forget. I was outside, on a little lunch break. I was eating my chicken and rice and broccoli. Usual bodybuilding staple food. I saw a guy come out with this beautiful convertible Jaguar. He got out of there and he was in an Armani suit, Rolex watch, comes in and said he had a doctor's note, overweight, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, borderline diabetes, needs to lose 40 pounds. And I showed him personal training prices. It was like $1,400 at the time. I'll never forget. It was 3 months, 36 sessions, for $40 a session, $1,440. The guy has a $20,000 watch on his hand. And I told him, hey man, let's do this. Oh man, that's expensive. What? You got your priorities all messed up, bro. I literally had to sit down and tell the guy his priorities was messed up because I was passionate about what I do. It wasn't a business for me. I want to try to save this person's life. The guy's going to die. And he's going to die in his Armani suit and his Rolex, and he's going to be buried in his Jaguar.
Yep. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, I think that, just the fact that your heart was in what you were doing really kind of sums it up in a lot of ways, that you really have lived from your passion and the things that you believed in, which kind of goes back to faith, what you were talking about earlier, just really believing in this better life, the potential really for your life.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'm so privileged, and I feel so happy that my passion became my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I didn't listen to my mom. My mom wanted me to become a doctor, but I got my degree for her, but I didn't want to practice chiropractic. A lot of people, oh no, getting real estate, getting stocks, getting do this and do this, there's money there. I didn't go where the money was. I went where my heart was.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's the difference. I learned how to make money where my heart was.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It's still not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do something long enough, you will have a breakthrough. The problem is that everybody has a shiny object syndrome. They want to be a realtor one day. They do that for a few weeks, and they want to become a personal trainer. Or then they want to be a mortgage officer. Or they want to be a police officer. And they want to do this and they want to do that, and they want to drop ship something now. That's big now. They want to. Come on, man. Come on.
Mm-hmm. So how do you measure success? Is it metric? Is it a feeling? And how do you know when you get there?
Success to everyone has a different definition.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. To me, the way I measure success is how much I'm at peace with myself.
Mm-hmm.
How much peace of mind I have. Because at the end of the day, we want to be happy because we want peace of mind. We want to be, we want money because we want freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's how I measure success. Now, it wasn't how I used to measure success.
Right.
I used to measure success by the Ferrari. I used to measure success by, the watch. I used to measure success by the house. But none of that matters to me anymore. To me right now, after 47 years of being on this, I'm like, you know what? I don't care about that. I could be in like a 400 square foot apartment. As long as I have peace of mind, and I know that I'm doing the right things, that it makes my heart happy, and I'm living the life that I want to live. That to me is the greatest success of all.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. And it reminds me of the phrase that Oprah uses a lot, which is living your best life. And you're really doing that and encouraging others to do it through what you do, which is really amazing and wonderful. So tell us, what is one of your just favorite things that has happened or that happens all the time, maybe with some of your clients? What are the things that bring you the most joy from what you do?
For years and years and years, and it never gets old, because I was in the field of transformation and helping people lose weight and get in shape and all that kind of stuff. To this day, I get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages. Sam, your program changed my life. Sam, I couldn't run around with my kids before, and now I'm running around with my kids and I'm healthy and happy. Sam, we couldn't have kids, we couldn't conceive kids, but I lost 50 pounds, and now we were able to conceive. We have a camp baby. And so, Sam, I went to my doctor after being on your program, and he couldn't believe how much my cholesterol went down. I don't no longer need to be on medication no more. We had people who were in abusive relationships where they didn't feel good about themselves to get up and leave. And after they're going through the program, they had the courage, they felt strong, they felt better about themselves, and they get up to leave. We had people who were, on substance abuse, and they learned to channel that habit to a more positive way. That never, I had a lady that was in a wheelchair and had multiple sclerosis. Doctor said she probably never walk again. I remember her like yesterday. Her name is Christine. She came to my gym in a wheelchair. Her smile was so radiant. Her attitude was so positive. And I fell in love with her because I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe this lady is in a wheelchair with a big old smile, always looking perfect. You know, hair was always on point, makeup was always on point. She just came in and then worked out, did whatever she could. And guess what? One day, I never forget, I went to the gym. I wasn't supposed to be there. I went to just to check on something. And on my peripheral vision, I saw Christine walking towards me. And I thought that I was seeing things. My peripheral vision, you know. And I looked and my mouth dropped. I'm like, what? So Sam, I started walking. Doctor said we should never walk.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I mean, I can get teary eyes, you know, telling you these stories. And I'm like, what the heck? So I've seen miracles happen with positive attitude, when you believe in yourself, and when you start, you know, implementing, transforming yourself, whether it's physically, you know, then it you know, goes to mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it all comes in together. But one of the latest fulfillments that's happening right now is our franchisees and my students, you know, the people I mentor and coach, where now they say, Sam, you know, I took a vacation and I've never taken a vacation like this before. Thank God. Thanks for this business opportunity. Thanks for your coaching and mentorship. I was able to do that. Sam, we all used to, you know, all 6 of us used to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Now all of us live in a house and every single one of us have a bedroom. And all these things never get old. So the biggest fulfillment is the difference you make in people's lives. You know, at the end of the day, when you know, I think when it's time for you to go meet your creator, is the lives you touch and the lives that you change that matters the most, not the material possession that you have possessed.
Wow.
That's so amazing. Really beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
That touches my heart big time. Gosh. So I have a question for you. So I know you have a son who's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen some of his amazing pictures, but I want to, so in all this amazing transformational steps and positive stuff that you've shared, what happens the day that your son comes to you and he says, you know what, Dad, I want to do all of this on my own? What kind of advice are you going to give him?
I'm going to tell him I support him. I love him. And I'm here for him if he ever needs guidance or anything like that. You know, all we can do is to be there for our children. You know, I don't want to dictate what he becomes or what he does. I certainly will guide him through, you know, but I want him to be a man of his own. I don't want him to be another one of me. You know, I want him to really, really go out there and find what his passion is, what his love is. And I want him to see what I do at a macro level, not at a micro level. I want him to see what hard work is associated with. You know, I want him to see that the habits that I do, the things that I do, but not necessarily do what I do. Now, if he doesn't want to be a bodybuilder, fine. He doesn't want to be in the fitness industry, fine. You know, I see too many people and too many parents try to dictate what their kids supposed to do, and I don't believe in that. I believe in empowering them. I believe in guiding them. I'm being their coach and their confidant, not being a drill sergeant and telling them this, and this and that.
Right.
Let them be their own person.
Mm-hmm. That's an awesome answer. I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. It's funny because I actually asked that question of someone today because I have a 20-year-old, and you know, your tendency as the parent is like you want to.
You have a 20-year-old.
I do have a 20-year-old. Yes.
You look like you're 30, like 20.
Wow. We're going to be really good friends, Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally was like, what?
But you know, there's that temptation as a parent because you know, it's like you want them to be successful and you just want everything to work out, and the temptation is to constantly be giving them advice and constantly trying to guide them and all these things. And so I love that because I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about, is how, you know, when we can kind of let go of the reins and allow them to do their own thing, then they get the opportunity to figure it out for themselves too.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, I don't come from that background. As you can tell, my mom, when I was growing up, my mom said, Sam, you can only be three things in life if you want to be successful. You have to be either a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, and I prefer a doctor. And so that was the thing that was given to me. And so I got my doctorate degree because I wanted to fulfill my mom's dream, but I never wanted to become a doctor. I never wanted to do that. And I don't want to put those limitations on them. I'm not going to do that. I think the beauty of this world is everyone got to learn on their own. And when the student is ready, the teacher will always appear.
That's right.
That's right. Yes,
That's
absolutely.
Right. I love it. So I want to talk about the 1% Club because when I very first heard that, it made me think of Napoleon Hill's 2% Club. Okay. Where did the 1% Club come from?
So to me, for decades now, when somebody does something extraordinary or out of ordinary, I always tell them, you're a 1%er. You're a 1%er. To me, 1%er is, when I first launched 1%, I've had a huge lashback. We had a whole social media frenzy that were calling me, narcissist. They were calling me someone who has a big ego, somebody who thinks he's better than them, because 1% kind of show, it implements that maybe you're better than someone else.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with that. 1% is a mindset. 1% is all about you not liking your circumstances. I want to change your circumstances. And is willing to do what it takes and are willing to pay the price to change your circumstances, no matter how you feel. Now, listen, you can be a 500-pound guy, overweight, out of shape, and broke, and decide that you want to change your circumstances and want to do whatever it takes to get there, then guess what? You're a 1%er. Mm-hmm. You can be a billionaire with a six-pack abs and not be a 1%er because your parents give you $1 billion and you're born with great genetics, you didn't work for it. You're not a 1%er. So 1%er is someone who's willing to go against the grain, somebody who is willing to go against what's popular, somebody who has a goal and doesn't care how he feels day to day because he has a goal and he sticks to what he's supposed to do every single day to get there. And that to me is the essence of a 1% man or a woman.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I love that.
That's really beautiful. Well, and I think it's really, for people who maybe right now, especially with everything that's been going on, struggling, just feeling like, how do I get to that next level with everything that's happening? It's encouraging to remember that it really is just coming back to the mindset. Like you were saying earlier, just being in today. What can we do today?
That's all I can do. Look, I guarantee you, if you win one day at a time, you're going to win life. Mm-hmm. Now, you might not win every single day, but if you concentrate on winning, I'm just like anyone. Sometimes I take an L for the day. You know what I mean? Even if I have the perfect plan and I don't execute the plan or something happens, but I'm aware. See, awareness is everything.
Yes, it is.
Awareness is everything. You don't need to go on this crazy diet and exercise program for you to lose weight. All you have to be aware of, did I move today? And am I making better choices of what I'm putting in my mouth? As long as you're aware that you're awake, that you can make adjustments. You know what I mean? And that's all I want people to be aware of is they can't change the past, they can't predict the future. Let's just concentrate on right now and today. Let's win today. And if you compound enough wins, you're gonna win your life. It's just bottom line. That's my whole basis of success. That's what I work with. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. So can you share with us some specific action steps that people can use to tap in to their 1% and discover that in themselves?
Absolutely. First and foremost, you have to have crystal clarity of what you want out of life and how you want to spend your time. Crystal clear. You got to be crystal clear. You know, when I became crystal clear on what I wanted out of life, then decision making becomes easy. There is no gray area. There's black and there's white and no gray area. I don't live in a gray zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I live in. There's no maybe. There's a yes or there's a no for me. You know, and I learned to become crystal clear. About 7 years ago, I found myself living in a hotel and divorced. And I just was out of being broke because it was coming right out of the recession. So I told myself I was in a hotel room, literally crying, literally like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm 40 years old. I just got done being broke. I just started seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Now I got served divorce papers. Now, you know, my kid is going to have dad not be present. And what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to go back to what I did in my 20s and go out to the club and start drinking and start, you know, chasing women? You know, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be that old guy in the club anymore. You know, there's always that one old guy in the club. If you remember back in the day when we used to go clubbing, you know, there's always one guy who was way too old to be in the club, and we used to make fun of him. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. So how do I want to spend my day? What do I want to do? So I told myself, okay, my number one priority is spend as much time with my children and my family. So since, you know, I'm limited to that because of divorce at the time. So when I'm not with my children and my, you know, family, I'm gonna provide for them, which means work. And then the rest of my time, I'm gonna spend on my health, both mental health and physical health, so I can keep doing one and two. Right? So every waking hour that I have is dedicated to those three activities. So if somebody calls me up and says, Sam, you want to watch the game? Do you want to meet me at the yard house, have some drinks and watch the game? Does it give me more money for the family? Does it give me more time with the family? Does it give me more help for the family? The answer is no. Decision making comes really easy, right? Mm-hmm. So I've learned to become master of time management. Mm. You know, I've learned to make sure every second of every day is accounted for. Let me ask you guys a question really quick.
Yeah.
So, what is more valuable to you guys? Time or money?
Time.
So 99 out of 100 people will say time. And you guys are just like everyone else saying time. And I agree with you. But let me ask you another question. Do you walk around, do you see people taking money out of their pocket and just throwing it on the street? Do you see that often?
No.
You don't see it, do you? Mm-hmm. We just see it on rap videos, right? Rap videos, people are throwing money on, but not in real life. Nobody's throwing money and just throwing it out, right? Or burning money, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Let me ask you another question. Do you see people wasting time every single day?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't make sense. We just contradicted ourselves. Mm-hmm. Right? We just contradicted ourselves. Yeah. We just agreed that time is more valuable than money, but yet we value money over time. Mm-hmm. So I've become militant. One of my mentors told me, Sam, guard your time like you guard your children. Mm-hmm. You know, because every second that is wasted is taken away from your family and your children. You know, and that's so I've learned to be the night before, you know, the night before I go to sleep, I look at my schedule, I print out my schedule, I make sure there's no white spaces. To me, white spaces on your calendar is the devil. That's when you sit down and ponder and start thinking things and start making things on your mind, especially if you're going through a rough time. If you're going through a rough time, stay busy, stay productive. Some of the toughest times of my life, I just stayed busy. I remember Pam, Sherry, I remember, you know, when I was going through that divorce. It was the worst time of my life. I would go to the gym because I wanted to keep myself busy. But I would go to the gym with tears in my eyes. I would lift with tears in my eyes. I would do sets and I would cry and break down in between. And I tell you right now, there was nothing more liberating than that. Nothing more liberating, because I was just lifting weights and crying at the same time. I was running and crying at the same time. But I had to stay productive and busy. If I would have stayed home, I would have pondered on things. I would have probably needed to resort to some medications or alcohol or unhealthy things. You know, so stay busy and just keep doing what you're doing and stay productive and keep your eyes on the big picture and not what makes you feel good at the moment right now. You know, what am I going to do? Get drunk and then tomorrow wake up with a hangover and now I can't perform and now I really can't provide for my children. Now I'm going to, have a double depression now. Because now I feel like a loser because I'm not performing the way I'm supposed to do for my family. No, I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
That's so powerful. And, I think it really does. It really, when you stop and you think about it, like you explained it, do we take money out of our pocket and throw it around? Everyone's like, no, of course not, right? And yet we do. We do it with time consistently. And I think that's just such a valuable point.
I call it, and don't get me wrong, we need some time to have fun and we need to have some, all that kind of stuff. I call it the EVE ratio. You know what that means?
What?
Education versus entertainment ratio.
Like it.
Yeah.
Your success is correlated to your EVE. Okay? If your entertainment ratio is 4 or 5 hours a day and your education ratio is 1 hour a day, you're on the wrong side here, buddy. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, most people don't even spend an hour to educate themselves a day, but they spend 6, 7, 8 hours on Netflix. They surf the web, and they're just mindlessly going through Facebook and Instagram. There's nothing wrong with it. I do that too, but not at the expense of the ratio. The ratio always have to be tipped towards you bettering yourself, educating yourself, and making better version of yourself.
Well, and it sounds like too that from all this education and reading, you've tapped into that state of being, that higher state of being, going back to what we're all about, the High Vibe Nation. We're talking about how do you vibrate at a higher frequency to create the life that you want to live. I mean, especially from you going to being a bodybuilder and then now owning franchises that are worth over $50 million. I mean, that's holding a pretty steady focus on what you really want instead of what you don't want.
See, I've learned that intelligence, people are not necessarily more intelligent than others. They just have longer focus. You know what I mean? And you guys know about the marshmallow study and the marshmallow test, and learning to delay gratification, and I think that's the most important part. As long as you can keep your eyes on the prize, learn to delay gratification, and look at things long-term, not short-term, and trade the immediate gratification for long-term success, you're going to come out on top. The problem is that most people just want the things now. We live in a microwave society, and nobody wants, day in, day out, stick to a same old boring routine, And it's funny because, I'm an old school bodybuilder, and I've been doing the same workout program since 1991. My workout routine has been the same since 1991 because one of my mentors, the great Bill Phillips.
Yep. No, Bill well.
To me, he was the Jack LaLanne of my time.
Yep.
He told me, Sam, he goes, muscles don't get confused. People do. And so I see people varying their workouts and doing this. And then varying your workout is great because it gives you variety in your mind. But to me, if I want maximum results, the most efficient manner, I want to know what exercise is going to give me the most bang for the buck.
Yep.
I want to be doing that exercise. And I learned those exercises. And my wife said, your workout routine, I said, your workout routine is boring, this and that. Hey, I'm 47 and I'm at 8% body fat in the best shape of my life.
That's awesome.
I don't need to do 32 different exercises a day. And that goes with life as well. You don't need to be doing 32 things to be successful. You need to do one or two things and do it in perfection to be successful.
Wow. Well, you have given us a lot to think about. I'm already thinking about how I get too easily bored with my workout routine. So,
the most important part is that you're aware that you need to move every day.
Yeah.
And that you need to make better decisions. Now, if you want to vary your workout, by all means, do it. That's fine. This is what you do. For me, time is limited. For me, my biggest resource is my time. I want to know the single exercise that's going to give me the best workout for my legs. A single exercise that's going to give me the best, exercise for my chest and back. I'm going to keep doing that.
I love it. So I know that you have a CEO plan. Is it a CEO program? Tell us a little bit about that for our listeners.
So, I have a CEO mentorship program where I teach people how to just take control of their life. And I think, just get them to be aware of their decisions, get them to take the control of their health and finances, and getting them in a routine that's going to compound to big results. And that's what I do. And I love it. I basically teach them the same things that I've learned over the years that got me to where I want. It's not a get rich quick scheme. I can't make you a millionaire in a week or in 6 weeks. That is not. So if you're looking for, oh my God, can he make me a millionaire overnight? I'm not the guy for you. I'm not going to. But if you're willing to put in the work, you're willing to stick to a routine, I guarantee you that I'm going to come up with a plan that's going to get you so far in life. But it's not going to be overnight.
So I put your website up on the screen. So is this how people would get a hold of you to be part of that?
Absolutely. You can go to the website, log in for it, or you can just go on Instagram and message me the word mentor. And this way I know who it is and whatever, what you want to do. And I certainly will get back to you and follow up with you and see, if it's the right fit. I want to make sure it's the right fit. I'm not here. I'm at a point in my life, like I said, that I know that not every business is good business. I'm not here to, okay, hey, you want to sign up, hey, let's talk about it. And let me make sure I can help you first. If I can't help you, I'll let you know. I can refer you to somebody maybe that can help you better. At the end of the day, I genuinely want to help and genuinely want to make a difference. And if I can help, I will. And if I can't, I'll find somebody that can help you.
Okay, so how can they find you on Instagram and I know you have a Facebook fan page also. Why don't you give us those names?
Yeah, it's just my name, Sam Bakhtiar, just like it is on screen, SAMBAKHTIAR. I'm very active on Facebook. I'm very active on Instagram. I haven't got onto Snapchat and all the other stuff yet, but I think I can only handle 2 right now. I'm 47. I'm getting, I'm getting to that point that I'm like, wait a second, man, I can only do so much.
Right. I get it. Well, we want to thank you so much for being on the show as a guest today. This has just been fantastic. Everything you have shared has been amazing. And we're very grateful.
Wonderful.
It's been a privilege to be on you guys' show. I appreciate you, Pam. I appreciate you, Sherry. And it's an honor. And please, I mean that sincerely. If you guys, you guys have my number, you guys need anything, just text me. I'm here to help. If I can connect you with anyone, I can do anything. If I can make a difference, I really want to do that for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We want to thank all of our listeners today. This has just been an amazing show. You can find us on our website at the High Vibe Nation. You can find us on Facebook at the High Vibe Nation, and you can find us on Instagram at the High Vibe Nation. We're on Mondays and Wednesday nights at 5:00 p.m. and we'll see you again next Monday. Until then, have a fantastic rest of the week.
From everybody here at the High Vibe Nation, we want to say thank you for choosing to raise your vibration. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe. If you need to find us on the web, check us out at www.thehighvibenation.com. Looking forward to seeing you on the next episode, and keep high vibing.